Good morning and welcome to today's ride. Oh, it's going to be a chilly one. Today I'm out to do one of my quick little go-to routes. This is my Edney's Lane route. So it's only 25 kilometres with about 300 metres of climbing. So not massively difficult, but the challenge is that I haven't really been cycling over the last month or so. The last really big ride I did was the New Forest Gridiron back probably about 4, 5, maybe even 6 weeks ago, and I really struggled on that, particularly towards the end. And since then I think I've done about 3 or 4 rides, plus I've also been out to Turkey in between that. I went out for a week 2 weeks ago, and there was plenty of food, plenty of drink, and zero cycling whatsoever. So I'm just trying to get back on it now by doing a few relatively gentle rides. This is the actual climb of Edney's Lane. It's 2.6 kilometres long, and I think it climbs about 100 metres or so. So yeah, average gradient 4% or so. I think my PR up here is something like 8 minutes. I'm sure the computer will tell me in a minute, but today I'm just going to take it nice and easy. My aim today is to just regulate my breathing and stay within zone 2. I'm already at 72% of my max heart rate, so approaching the upper end. So just take it a bit easier. Of course, that means I'm going to be climbing up here at a super slow speed, but well, I don't care. Got nothing to get back for. Let's just do it nice and easy. Halfway up the climb now, and I'm at the bit that I call the pylons of pain, because there's a dirty great big pylon just there. I don't know if you can see it. It's also the bit where this climb starts to get a little bit steeper. It goes from a nice gentle 2% to 3, 4 and then 5 at the top. But yep, still ticking away, managing to keep my heart rate within zone 2, so that's good. I've had to go down to the small ring though. A couple of months ago I'd have done it in the big ring. Just shows you how much fitness I've lost. Mind you, it might also say something about the bike I'm riding. I'm on my gravel bike now, which is quite a bit heavier than my Trek that I normally ride up here. So yeah, but it's all good training. Winter miles equals summer smiles, as they say. Thank you. That was nice and sensible. It's a very narrow lane. This is probably a very old little country lane. Maybe, I don't know, could even be 1,000 years old, this little lane. And obviously back in those days it was all horse and cart, and they didn't need anything wider than this. Just starting to edge out of my zone 2 here, so just throttle it back a little bit as I pass the scrapyard here. I always hope they have their guard animals out. They're peacocks, they're not dogs or anything. Peacocks. But I don't think they're out today. Oh, there they are. You can just about see one of them. There you go. And there's the other 3 in the yard there. Last 100 meters or so of this climb now. And since I've been back from Turkey, I've not just been sat around on my arse all the time. I have been doing some cycling, but it's mainly been on the turbo, only because it's nice and convenient. Quickly just nip out to the garage, 45 minutes, listening to music. It's a lot of fun, but I do enjoy riding on the road as well, and it's very different, and it varies from day to day as well. The last time I went out on the road, it was really windy, and it made so much of a difference. I'm probably preaching to the choir here. I don't need to tell cyclists how difficult it is in the wind, but yeah, today there's virtually no wind at all, so it's making life a lot easier. One of the aspects that I do find a little bit annoying about cycling, particularly from my point of view, is how quickly I feel I go from being relatively fit to being more or less back to square one. I think it only takes about a month, 5 weeks or so of not cycling, and then it feels like I've never ridden a bike in my life. But the upside is that it does come back reasonably quickly, or at least I start to feel like I've got an edge on it, and I'm in a position where I can, start cycling a little bit more regularly and just start getting some of that fitness back again. That's the Baton Ball turn, and that kind of signals the end of the reasonably tough part of this ride. We've done all the climbing now, or most of it anyway, and the rest is more or less downhill. Well, yeah, like I said, apart from a couple of little climbs. So yeah, I can just relax a little more now. I love this descent from the Baton Ball down into the village of Hambledon. Nice and long, straight, and you pick up quite a speed going down here. I also quite like doing it in the other direction as well, obviously climbing back up for exactly the same reasons. Just entering the village of Hambledon. This is always such a nice little place to ride through. The only downside are all the cars parked on the side of the road. It can get a little bit busy, and if there's a car coming the other way, it can be a little bit congested. But on a day like today, it's actually nice and easy. And I came through here on Saturday. It's a fair bit cooler then. I thought it was going to be colder today. It's 7 Celsius today, and when I went through last week it was only 5 degrees Celsius. Feeling a little cold. I've got this long sleeve jersey on, short sleeve jersey under that, and then a long sleeve base layer on under that, so I could probably do with just maybe one more layer. Penultimate little climb now, just out of Hambledon and climbing up Ants Hill. 800 metres of climbing, well, 800 metres on the road, and it climbs about 30 metres. Again, not desperately difficult, but there's a short, sharp section at the top where it goes up to 8%. But yet again, I'm just going to take it nice and easy, not pushing myself, just ticking away. Approaching that little 7% section now. putting a bit more effort in because this is a relatively busy road. I just don't want to hold the cars up. So the quicker I get to the top, the better. But normally this time of year, being an old school cyclist, it's all about just forming that winter fitness base, and that's done really when you just take things nice and easy and ride in a steady state. Whew. My reward for climbing up Ant Hill is, of course, riding down the other side. I have to pick my line fairly carefully going down there though, because there are a couple of manhole covers that are just above the surface of the road, and you wouldn't want to hit those. I often wonder what the drivers behind me think, you know, me riding in the middle of the road, but hopefully they can see the manhole covers and kind of get the idea of what I'm doing. Back on the much busier road now, but the good news is I'm not on this for long. I'll be turning very soon onto a quieter residential road. Well, there's the turn. This is Milton Road in Waterlooville, and over the past couple of weeks, months, I've been rather inappropriately fond of this road, and that's because of its freshly tarmac surface, but I'll say no more. If you know, you know. So this, boys and girls, is my official finishing line for this particular route. This is where I take all my timings, and today I've done this route in 1 hour 12 minutes. But back in the summer, when I was relatively fit, my fastest time was 54 minutes. So yeah, it's considerably slower, but I'm not too bothered about that. Like I say, it's winter, I'm taking it easy. But the big win as well is that when I did this route on Saturday, so 6 days ago, I was struggling to keep my heart rate within zone 2, particularly on that second half from Ant Hill there. And today it's been relatively easy, thankfully. So yeah, little wins. I'm seeing that as a sign that I am very slowly getting fitter. So there we go. By the time I get home, that's going to be 25 kilometers in the bank of fitness and 225 meters of climbing. So all in all, a pretty good ride. I rather enjoyed that. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.